this is Bill McAfee. I'm the president of Empire Title Company in Colorado Springs, Colorado. We're here to give you the September 2014 real estate update from the Pikes Peak Multiple Listing System. For those of you that have seen this before, you never know what I'm going to do. In fact, I don't know what I'm going to do. I heard the police are in the lobby getting ready to take me out, so if I get whisked out of here, that's just what happens. That's a joke. Moving on. Not a good one, but it's a joke. Moving on here. I'm going to tell you a story about what's going on in our real estate market, and the name of our story is lack of inventory, or lack of number of listings based on demand over the last 12 months. That's going to be one hell of a title to put on a book, but that's what we got. So, starting our story, active listings, when you look here, we're at 3,831 for the month of September, but even more importantly, the slide you just saw, this is it on a running average. Notice when I come across here, the number of listings that we have on a running average is as low as it's been in 10 years. So keep that 10 years, okay? Here's the number of sales. I want you to notice a couple of things. Last summer, this summer, we're hitting the number of sales in those months that we haven't seen since 2006 and 2007, which were the hottest real estate years our market has ever seen. Now, the number of sales, and again, if you look over here, this is on a running average, the slide we just saw, pull all the way back over to here, 2007. Again, that was an incredible year for us in our real estate market as far as number of sales. So, on our little story, 10-year low in number of homes for sale, we're selling at a pace that we did in one of the hottest real estate markets we've seen. Moving on, what this translates into, with those two numbers I just had you show, I just showed you, or you showed me, or somebody showed somebody on that. What we have is we have the number of homes that are available for sale. We have the number of homes that are actually selling. I'm going to put that in a formula and say, okay, based on the last 12 months demand, how long would it take us to burn through the inventory we have? We're at 4.22. 6 would be normal, Joe. So 6 would be normal across there. We're at 4.22. Now, this is, I've drilled it down into individual prices. Notice everything down here, 250 and below, is anywhere from a quarter to an entire month behind where it should be. Now what that means is the demand over the last 12 months, we don't have enough supply there to take care of it, which is driving prices like crazy. Now, if you're selling in that above $1 million, some bad news for you. 18 months would be normal in that price range. We have 44. In the 750 up to $1 million, 13 months would be normal. We have 27. So if you're a seller in that market, it's going to be really tough. You're going to have to price your house right, have it in perfect condition. If you're a buyer in that market, it's a gold mine because there's a lot to get, and you can get them really discounted. Now, as we come down the spectrum, the 3 to 4 and the 4 to 5 is starting to pick up some. On a slide I'll show you here in just a second, it's picked up about 10% over the last year. However, 250 and below is where it's at. We do not have the number of homes. I don't see that changing even through next year based on current demand. One thing we do need is jobs in our local market. That's going to drive us eventually. Now, looking at the average sales price, notice we were 253, 218, but here's what's more important. This is on a running average, the slide you just saw. This is where we're at right now. Again, when I go back over to here, it isn't around that 2007 range. So we're starting to get back to an average price that we did, again, in one of the hottest real estate markets we've seen. Now, look at here, the median sales price. Notice where we are here, $225,000. Here's what's even more amazing. When you do this on a running average, our median price is as high as it's ever been. In other words, 50% of the homes are selling above, 50% are selling below. So on our little story, we're low in listings, we're high in sales. As we move down, what that's translating into is an increase in prices, and I'm going to jump ahead here just a second. When we look at the prices, how much they've increased, we're up over 4%, we're almost 5% on median price comparing the first 9 months of this year to the first 9 of last year. The whole thing that's driving that is we don't have the number of homes that are available for sale versus the demand, and for sure the 250 and below, maybe even 300 and below. The residential units sold, actually this month was the first month we pulled ahead of last year. Up till this month we were actually behind. We were actually ahead in number of units even sold this year. The inventory levels are actually down. What that means is the supply is not there to cover the demands. That's what's driving the prices. Now, foreclosures are down in average market conditions. I want to back up just a second. This is the number of sales that are happening, types of sales. So in other words, we got 16% cash, 12% FHA, 31% VA, 38% conventional. This number right here, VA, is critical in our market because if we have cutbacks in the military, that could really affect us, something to keep an eye on. Backing up one more slide, this is where the interest rates are, and they're actually trailing down right now. When you look at our market right now, a lack of supply, we have a huge demand in the low end, and rates are going down into ranges people can buy. I look for our market to continue on. Again, jobs are going to be key for a long, sustainable drive on this, but over the near term, I just don't see it being able to correct that fast. High end, sorry guys, it's going to be a tough road. You need to consult a local real estate agent to make sure how to price that home. Now, low end, I grew up on a ranch and my dad always used to say, you know, pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. You can drive your price a little bit in the low end, okay, you can. But don't get greedy on that, because in the low end, and I'm talking 250 and below, if you overprice your house by 5,000, you may not get showings. So you can drive the prices a little bit in that, but be cautious. This is Bill McAfee. Thanks for being with us. Adios.